Trusting yourself means living out loud what you already know to be true by Cheryl Strayed. Yesterday, I had the privilege of doing a photo shoot. Now, I can look at a photo shoot from two directions. One, like excitement, like, oh, this is fun. I get to play with a team for a day. Or another one from dread, like, oh my goodness, I'm getting older. How's the lighting going to look? How's my neck going to look? And on and on and on. And yesterday, I chose to trust in the team and trust in myself and trust that I was going to have a great time and trust that the outcome would be what it would be. And that's exactly what happened. It went so much better than I could have possibly had hoped. I'd never worked with this photographer before, but a lot of my friends had. So I trusted their opinion. And if you are watching on YouTube, this is why I actually have a color on today, because I trusted a rental company to send me clothing on time. And so it got me thinking about this idea of trust, the importance of trusting ourselves and the importance of trusting those around us. And I believe trust is built over time. So I will try and stay on track today. I do not want to go on a rant, but I might just go on a little one. So I'm just letting you know, because I feel okay, I'm going on a rant. Here we go. So I feel another thing that triggered this idea for me last week was I was on social media and there are so many things out there, like castor oil is the new thing. And then this guru or thought leader is promoting this, and this person is selling this new idea for thousands of dollars. And I feel like we give away our trust too quickly sometimes. But yet, it takes us years to trust ourselves. So I want to come back to this idea of trust, specifically with this photo shoot that I did, because when I decided to trust in this team, a makeup artist, Nancy, who I've worked with before, and I trust my face with her implicitly. Samantha, the incredible photographer, and I will put links to all of these amazing humans, their social medias to follow. And especially if you're in LA, please trust me. These are people you want to work with. And I trusted Samantha. The minute I met her, I knew we were going to have a great time. I trusted her team. I trusted the lighting. And I trusted myself enough to ask for what I needed. So, for example, a lot of great photography involves shadows and contrasts, and I love that. But I know the brand that I'm known for and the brand that I want to continue to build is about accessibility. Authority, yes, but that I'm very accessible. I can be we'll go for coffee together, we'll have a great time, and yet I can help you get to the next stage of your life. And I am not a guru. You are your own guru. I can just be a guide to help you unlock the answers that are already inside of you. And so while I trusted the photographer implicitly, I also have been in enough photo shoots to know what works for me, to trust myself, to trust that I know enough. I don't know what you would call the f-stop or what the particular lighting is, but I know what works for me, my face, how I want to be seen, how I do my best work. And the photographer trusted me. And so because I trusted myself, I wasn't afraid to say, Samantha, can we do more uplight? Can we filter? Can we use this type of light? I don't know what it's called, but I know what it looks like. It's that one over there, and so on and so forth. And this trust in myself took a long time too. But in the past, I might have seen a photo of myself that I didn't really like per se. Maybe it was a beautiful photograph, but not for me. And I wouldn't have trusted myself enough to speak up. So yesterday was a beautiful dance. That song by Pink, Trustful. It's a trustful, baby. I don't want to sing that to you because you're going to turn off. But this idea of a dance between two people trusting each other, or you trusting the people you're working with. But most importantly, what I want to talk today is the importance of trusting ourselves. And again, how is it that we are so quick to put our trust into people on social media, but yet we can be 40, 50, 60, 70, and we still don't trust ourselves? So that is what we're going to talk about today. So if you don't know me, I love acronyms. So I thought, just go with me on this one. I thought I'd come up with an acronym for the words trust, especially when it comes to trusting ourselves, and see if this can help you. Because again, this whole idea of, wow, we give our trust to so many other people, but why are we not trusting ourselves? Why do we second guess ourselves? Why do we doubt ourselves? And it is not that we're never going to have doubt, but when we can trust our intuition, trust that we will show up for ourselves through the good and the bad, that's when we get to take radical, beautiful, unique action and move our dreams into action. So here we go. Here's our trust acronym for today. So the first one, T, is for truth. The truth of who you are, the truth of what you stand for, the truth of what you believe in, the truth of what is important to you, the ability to work with the facts versus the feelings. We're going to talk about feelings in a moment, but really understanding the facts about who we are, and that there might be some gaps of where we still want to be, but the truth of who you are, your strengths, your values, all the goodness inside of you, and believing in yourself in the way that you will believe in others, to bet on yourself the way you bet on other people. But it is really getting to know yourself. Who are you at this stage in your life? Who I am, Petra, in her 60s, is very different to who I was even in my 40s or my 50s. We're always becoming, we're always unraveling and then coming back in a more beautiful, complicated, messy, gorgeous way. But the first thing is, who are you? What do you know about yourself for sure? And can you own all the goodness inside of you without minimizing it? We tend to magnify the negative and minimize the good. Can you just own who you are? Can you own the truth of who you are? So we have T for truth. Then R is for respect. Respecting ourselves, respecting our opinions, respecting our differences, respecting others, but respecting ourselves, self-respect, treating ourselves with the respect we would give others. You've heard me say this before, the idea of the golden rule: treat others as you would treat yourself. Actually, I think if we could treat ourselves as we would treat others, that is when the magic happens. Treat ourselves with the respect that we would give those around us, respecting all of who we are, our strengths and our weaknesses, our wins and our misses, respecting ourselves for showing up the best that we can every day and being proud of that. Being proud of who we are as we figure out who we are and who we want to be in this world. Respecting ourselves enough to move our body each day. Respecting ourselves enough to put good, nutritious food into our body so we have the vitality to go for the dreams that we deserve. And you, as much as anyone, deserves a life that excites and fulfills you. And having the respect in yourself to know that and honor that and take the actions that embody that. So we have T for truth, R for respect, U for understanding. Understanding that this respect takes time. Understanding that we will fail. Understanding that we will get up again, understanding that we are complex, understanding that there's this thing called life, understanding that we don't have it all figured out. And then taking the time to understand our feelings. As I say, I think this is a part that we often get tripped up on. We don't slow down enough to sit with our feelings and separate the feelings from facts and take the time to understand what these feelings really mean. And I'm not going to do a deep dive now on feelings and facts and understanding them, but when we get to notice, like, oh, I'm feeling anxious, and I now understand that that anxiety is just my way of trying to protect myself for what is yet to be known, or my worry is about we get to understand ourselves and then bring a self-compassion to all of ourselves, not just our highlight reel, but the real life struggles that we have. And I think in this world where we are so busy being human doings versus human beings, to really understand ourselves and get an understanding of why we are struggling, or why we're not taking action, or why we're procrastinating, or why we're feeling anxious, or why we worry about other people, their opinions of us. It needs us to be still, to take the time to go inside without judgment, with empathy, with a curious mind. And the more that we understand ourselves, the more we can then go and do a deep dive and find the right tools, the right strategies to work with the feelings that we're having that then allow us to move closer to our best possible future. Understanding comes from a place of empathy, self-acceptance, and not judgment. And sometimes, a little clarifier here, we need an expert's help. If you're in a place of confusion and maybe you've gone through a breakup or a job loss, or sometimes we go to an expert to help us uncover the blocks and gain a deeper understanding in who we are and what created this magnificent and flawed human being, our past experiences, our present hopes, and our future yet to be written. So sometimes it's perfectly acceptable to reach out to a professional to help you gain a better understanding of where you are currently. So we have T for truth, R for respect, U for understanding, and S is for self-awareness. This idea of looking at ourselves through the lens of self-compassion, without judgment, through the lens of curiosity. And when we find something that we don't particularly like about ourselves, we go, that's interesting. I wonder why I'm speaking to myself this way, or I wonder why I'm treating myself this way, from a lens of curiosity and compassion versus judgment and negative self-talk. So going back to yesterday, the photographer, she was amazing. She had all the shots coming back up on the screen so I could see the lighting, I could see how I looked. And there was a moment when all I could see was my neck, but yet I had a self-awareness, an understanding of myself that, like, you know what, you have this thing about you that you don't particularly care for. And this is going to be the youngest and the prettiest that you are moving forward. And so I had this self-compassion, and I knew, I trusted the photographer enough that that can be done in Photoshop, that my neck doesn't make who I am, but I came from a place of self-compassion versus self-judgment. So I gave myself a little inner pep talk. I shared my worry, my concern with the photographer, because I had an understanding that if I kept it bottled inside, it would not allow me to bring my best fun self out in front of the camera. So it's just understanding all of who we are, the good, the not so good, the pieces we like about ourselves, the pieces we wish could be different. It's that beautiful, messy package called being a human. And then the last T is for time. That all of this takes time. And the older we get, the less time we have ahead of us, but the more experience and wisdom that we have to be able to have that self-compassion, to build that self-respect, to have that understanding of who we are. All of this takes time. And how many times have we heard it said, if only I knew then what I knew now? But that's not how life works. But it's trusting yourself enough to not waste any more time, to make sure if you do have worry, we're worrying about the right things, where we have a concern about the things that we can control. And then we take inspired action. We don't move into a place of rumination. We reflect and go, that's interesting. I wonder why I still feel this way about myself or the world. What inspired action can I do daily, consistently, to change that little trigger, that groove of negativity I have in myself, to make it less powerful as I build my powerful future? So at the end of the day, when it comes to moving our dreams closer to the finish line, and then once that dream is across the finish line, have another big, bold, magnificent dream. It is trusting in yourself. It is trusting that you are worthy. It is trusting that you will show up for yourself. It is trusting that the people around you have your back. And it is trusting that the universe always has your best interest at heart. And so always leave room for good things to step in. And it is trusting that your future, is worth doing the hard work and the heart work. Your future are worth fighting for. Please trust me when I say that.